everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I am back with another video, and this time I have some new products that I'm going to be testing out. So the name of this company is JC Beauty Concepts, and they sent me a few acrylics and as well as some files, the primer, the dehydrator, and the monomer. So here we have the clear one, we have the cover blush, we have soft peach. This one looks like a black, pink, yellow, and then we also have a pastel collection which looks really pretty. So I'm gonna be using some of these to do my sister's nails, so we're gonna be testing it out just to see, you know, how well it works. And they do have a website where you can shop at, which is jcbeautyconcepts.com, and I'll be sure to leave the information down below, and we'll see if they'll give us a discount or a promo code as well. So I'm not really sure which ones I'm going to use just yet, but just know that these are the products that I'm going to be using on her nails. So I hope you guys enjoy and keep watching. Alrighty y'all, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the files and buffers over to the side, and I know for sure I'm gonna be using the dehydrator and the extra bonder, and then of course their monomer. And then out of the acrylics, most likely I'll be using the clear. I may be using this really pretty yellow. Let's see. Yeah, I think I'll probably use the yellow. And then I'm thinking about doing the soft peach, and I think that's it. So most likely I'm gonna be doing an ombre look. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the other ones over to the side. And then as you can see, they did send me different sizes. So this one is pretty big. This one is a 3.5 fluid ounce. This one is a 1.5 ounce. This one's the same size. And then the smaller one, it doesn't say, but it's probably like 1/4 of an ounce. So yeah, and then the monomer, the one they sent me, is a 4-ounce bottle. We have the primer and dehydrator, which are 0.15 milliliters. And then the hand files and the buffers that I got are 180, and then, or sorry, 100, 180. Both of these, I got the big one and the small one. The hand files, I got the 100, 180, and apparently these are washable. We also got an 80, 100. We got another buffer, and then we have another file which is a 100, 180. So these files, as you can see, all are different grids. So as you guys know, the lower the number, the more coarse the file is going to be. So this white one would really be used for shaping because it's a little more coarse. But like the 100, 180, these two would be used for the natural nail because they're not as coarse. So you're not going to, you know, file too much on the natural nail or over file. So again, I'm going to go ahead and put these over to the side. I'm going to go ahead and put these up as well. And then I'm gonna go ahead and get started. So as you guys know, the last time that I did a set on my sister, we used the Nail Supply Glamour acrylic system. So on this hand, we used the odorless acrylic, and then on the other hand, we used the regular Nail Supply Glamour acrylic. As you can see, these do look a little yellow, especially right there, like on the white part, to where the other ones are completely clear. So I want you guys to, you know, take that into consideration when you're purchasing from them, that the odorless monomer does turn yellow somewhat, and then the other one is completely fine. So I'm gonna be filing these all the way down to remove that, you know, glitter and the colored acrylic from there, and then we're gonna do, you know, the ombre with the new products. But I did want to give you guys an update on how the acrylic from Nail Supply Glamour did. And then also this nail, it's been, I think, 3 weeks since I did this set. Has it been 3 weeks? Yeah, I think it's been like 3 weeks since I did this set, and this nail literally just broke like 2 or 3 days ago. But other than that, as you can see, no lifting whatsoever. But the only thing was that the odorless did turn yellow. So I'm gonna go in there with my extra coarse drill bit to file down the acrylic, and I'm gonna be using it at 10,000 RPMs. And as always, I'm using the Melody Susie Scarlet nail drill, and I have no issues with it whatsoever, so I do highly recommend it. They also have a whole bunch of other nail products like nail lights, more drills, and as always, you know, like when you're looking for a drill, it just depends on what style and as well as what price you're looking to, or how much you're willing to spend. But all of their products are really good. So again, we're gonna go we're gonna go in and just remove the colored acrylic or the glitter and all that stuff, and then we're gonna move on to the next step. But when you're doing this, you want to make sure that you file it down as much as you can, especially when you're going to be doing a different color acrylic on the nails. That way the acrylic is not super thin. So I'm just going to file down as much as I can. And as always, we first file around the cuticle area and then filing the rest of the nail. And I can't remember if I did a base of clear on these. I don't think I did, so I'm not going to be able to file all of the acrylic or the colored acrylic off, but that's fine because, you know, her nails weren't thick to begin with. So same thing on the rest, just filing around the cuticle area. And remember that if you do have any lifting around the cuticle area, that you go ahead and get rid of that. Again, I don't have any, but usually you'll be able to tell because it'll be whitish around that area. So you can just go in with your drill bit and just kind of file back and forth until you get rid of, or you take it off. But if the nail is lifted like all the way down here, you're better off just taking the nail off and reapplying a new one, because the acrylic is going to continue to lift if you just leave it like that. But again, I'm going to go ahead and finish filing and removing the colored acrylic and the glitter, and then I'll be right back. Alrighty, so this one I filed the acrylic down as far down as I could before we get to the natural nail. And then I have a little cotton ball. I'm going to go ahead and soak it with acetone. I'm going to put it on there, and then I'm going to use one of these little clips to soak that acrylic off. Alrighty, so after we finish removing the colored acrylic from the nails, I'm going in with a cuticle pusher, and we're just pushing back those cuticles. And remember, this is going to just help expose the new growth and help with reducing lifting. And as always, you can use any sort of cuticle pusher that you would like, whether it's plastic, metal, or wood, as long as it can be disinfected or disposed of. Alrighty, so now I'm gonna go in with a 180 sanding band. Of course, I always remove the old one and replace it with a new one. Again, that is a 180 sanding band, and I just get these from Amazon. They just come in a little baggie like this, and I believe it's like 100 in here, so they last me a while. But now again, I'm gonna go in and remove the shine, and I'm gonna slow it down to 5,000 RPMs to do this. So remember that when we're doing this, we literally just go in there from the right side all the way over to the left side, going back and forth until we remove the shine from the natural nail, because if not, we are gonna get lifting. And I do have a video on how to prep the natural nail for acrylic, so I'll be sure to leave the link down below for you guys if you're interested. I actually did it on the mannequin, on the mannequin hand, but it's the same thing that you would do on the natural nail. But again, just going from the right side all the way over to the left side, going back and forth to remove that shine. Remember that our body produces a lot of oils. Those oils happen to be on our natural nail, which is why they're shiny. So if you were to just leave it like this, you would get lifting. So if you're skipping this step and you're wondering why your nails are like popping off that same day or the next day, it's because you're not prepping the nail, you're not removing the shine. Or if you are doing it and your nails are still lifting, it could be either this or a number of other things, which I will mention in a bit. But again, just remove the shine from the natural nail, and we're gonna continue to do that on the rest.
I love how that's the worst case scenario for nails. You will get lifted. Like, if you don't eat, you will die. If you drink too much water, you're gonna die. If you don't drink enough water, you're gonna die.
Alrighty, so the acrylic is completely soaked off now. So now we're gonna go in and just push back the cuticles on this one as well. And then we're gonna go in with the 180 sanding band to remove the shine on the nails. So same thing, we're just going in from the right side, working our way all the way around to the left side, going back and forth. And then once you've removed the shine from around the cuticle area, you can go in and remove the shine from the rest of the nail. And then I'm also going to go in with the tip of my drill bit and just file down on the natural nail or on the free edge to shorten up, or just basically to trim the nails or to shape them up. So that's pretty much it. And then I am going to be, of course, replacing that nail with another nail tip, and for that I'm going to be using my clear nail tips. Remember that when you're applying nail tips, you want the nail tip to fit exactly from sidewall to sidewall. You don't want to hang it off the nail, and you also don't want to apply one that you're literally having to force it down to stay. So again, make sure that it fits from sidewall to sidewall with no issues. After that, you just apply the glue right on the free edge of, or the tip of the nail, and then just place it on the nail, hold it down for a few seconds, and let it go. As you can see, this glue dries really fast. It's the same one that I had on my website, and it will be back in stock really soon. Alrighty, so next we're going to be applying the acrylic. So again, I'm going to be using the Cover Blush, the clear, this yellow, which is in the number 51, and then I'm going to use their monomer, the extra bonder, and the dehydrator. Usually you apply the dehydrator first and then the extra bonder. And then again, this is by JC Beauty Concepts, and I'll leave all of the information down below. So I'm gonna go ahead and pour my monomer into the little dapping dish. Alrighty, so I poured it in the little dapping dish, and I did the smell test, I guess I could say. And honestly, it's just like the normal like monomer odor, like not too strong and also not you know, how would I even say it? Not too strong, basically. It's not too strong. So let's see. After that, we're gonna go ahead and open these up. And as you can see, this is the yellow that I'm going to be using, and it has a little bit of shimmer in there. I don't know if you guys can tell. And then before I start applying the acrylic, of course, we're going to go in with these. So again, first I'm going to apply the dehydrator. Let me see. Sorry, I don't know what I was thinking. I still have to go in and reshape this now, of course, and cut it down. So I'm going to go ahead and move these over to the side. And I'm going to, let's see, I'm going to go ahead and measure it against this other nail. And then I'm also going to cut the sides because, of course, we're doing a coffin shape. So this is going to just save us a little time. So just cutting the sides off. And then I'm going to go in with the with the 80-100 nail file. So just going from the side wall towards the free edge at a 90-degree angle. And then just following the free edge at exactly a 90-degree angle as well. And then just blending the nail tip right in the middle. Now I'm going to go ahead and just dust it off, and then now we can go in with the dehydrator and the extra bond. So going in with the dehydrator first. And I'm only applying this to the natural nail. Alrighty, so now I can go in with my acrylic. So again, I'm going to be doing an ombre look with those three colors, which is the cover color, the yellow, and the clear. And then, of course, I have my monomer here. Alrighty, so I'm going to go ahead and start with this now. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with a thin coat of the clear and just applying that over the entire nail. That way, next time whenever I'm ready to do a different colored acrylic, we can just file away the colored acrylic and then we'll still have the clear there. So the acrylic so far is going on really good, not too runny, and then it gives you enough time to play with it as well. And then after that, I'm gonna go in with the yellow. And again, I don't know if you can tell, but it's like a shimmery yellow. I'm gonna apply that right on the tip, patting it down. And then brushing it down towards the tip. Just like that. And then now I'm gonna go in with the cover blush, just a small bead. I'm gonna place it right in the middle, right above where the yellow is. Pat it down and then very gently brushing it down to blend it in. So same thing, gonna go in with another bead. And make sure that when you're doing this, you're not brushing down too hard because you don't want to brush the nude color all the way down towards the tip. You just want to blend it in the middle because then it's going to take away from that ombre look. So as you can see right here, I kind of wiped it off a little bit. So right there, I had already got a lot of that nude on the yellow. So I went ahead and kind of brushed it off as best as I could. So try not to do that from the beginning. Just work with a little bit of product at a time. That way that doesn't happen. But if it does happen, you can definitely go in there just like this and add a little bit of yellow and kind of blend it up. Alrighty, so I applied another small bead around the cuticle area, and then let's see. And then after that, we can go in and do the clear to encapsulate them together. That way, whenever we come back to file, we're not gonna file any of the colored acrylic off. Alrighty, so that's what it looks like. So as you can see, the acrylic is going on really good. No complaints at all whatsoever. So I honestly do really like it. So now we're gonna go in and basically do the same thing on the rest of the nails. Do you want to do all yellow or like, no, I'm gonna do something different. Okay, so I was gonna do all ombre, but I think I am gonna be doing, let's see, I'm gonna do this one just all clear so I can bling it out. So I'm just gonna go in there with the clear. And one thing I can say is make sure that whenever you're using, well, like as far as this yellow, make sure that you wipe your brush off a lot when you're working, especially with the colored acrylics, because they do, as you can see, they're really pigmented, which is a really good thing, but you don't want that to get on the rest of your colors. Kind of like this nudish color, I feel like it kind of got, you know, on the yellow or on the nude, so it kind of turned not too yellow, but it did give it, you know, a hint of yellowish in the nude color or the blush color. So as you can see, I applied one bead, and then I still need just a small one to create my apex. So placing it closer to the cuticle area, pat it down, and then as you can see, it definitely keeps its shape. It's not runny at all, but it still gives you enough time to kind of play with it and move it around. Alrighty, so again, I'm gonna be blinking this one out, which is why I did it just clear. And then for this one, I think I just want to do it all nude. So I'm still gonna go in and just do a small bead of the clear, placing it around the cuticle area. And remember, the reason why I go in and do a base with the clear is because whenever we come back in the next time to do a color change or a fill, we want to be able to remove the colored acrylic and then still have the clear underneath. Alrighty, so I'm gonna go in with the blush color, the cover blush, placing it closer to the cuticle area. And I'm just gonna apply it on the entire nail. So patting it down. Alrighty, so I'm gonna go in and apply another bead right here. It's still a little bit sheared over on the side. So remember that when you're doing this, make sure that you look at your nail from different angles. That way you get a full coverage with the colored acrylic. So now I'm gonna go in and do another bead closer to the cuticle area. Alrighty, so I did the nude, so now I'm just gonna go in with a thin coat of the clear. Just applying that over the entire nail, and that's it. So as you can see, that color is really pretty by itself, and I think you can definitely tell the difference to where this one had a little bit of that yellow pigment in the nude, but it's really pretty on its own. So now for this one, I think I want to do just nude again. I've already done the clear base, so I'm just gonna go in with the nude, and then I think I'm gonna do the thumb ombre as well. Alrighty, so same thing, just going in with a coat of the clear. And then on this one, we're gonna go in and do the ombre. So same thing, just going in and applying the clear at the back. So pat it down and then gently brush it down towards the tip. And remember, we want to keep most of the product right there in that area where we placed it at. We just want to blend it in with the rest of the nail. And then after that, we're going to go in with the yellow, placing it in the middle, patting it down, and then gently brushing it down towards the tip. All right, so remember that after you apply the yellow or any colored acrylic, make sure that you wipe your brush off really good to get that yellow out of your brush. And then now I'm gonna go in with the colored acrylic, or sorry, with the blush, cover blush, placing it down, patting it down, and then brushing it down. Make sure that if any of the product gets on the skin that you wipe it off immediately. That way it doesn't dry up, and then most likely you will get lifting if that happens. I'm gonna place another bead because that one was still a little bit sheared. So same thing, placing it down and then brushing it down. And then the next one, of course, is gonna go closer to the cuticle area. But remember, the key to doing this is making sure that you're not working with too much product, because if you place a really big bead in this area, you're gonna be brushing a lot of it down. So it's gonna take away from your ombre effect. Alrighty, so after that, we're gonna go in with the clear. Alrighty, just like that. And then we're gonna do the exact same thing on the other hand. So again, we're doing the clear on the pinky, the nude on the ring finger and the index finger, and then the ombre on the middle finger and the thumb. Again, I really do like how this acrylic is going on the nail, but the only thing is, again, it's really pigmented, which is a really good thing, but make sure that you're wiping your brush off really good when you're working. That way it doesn't get on the nude or the clear. So I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit more monomer to my dapping dish. And I usually, for the most part, always use a small dapping dish. That way I only get the, monomer that I need, so I don't waste it, because I don't like to use, the same monomer on multiple people. So I always just use a small one instead of, pouring it in a big container or a big dapping dish. That way you're not just reusing it, basically. So basically, again, we're gonna do the same thing on this one. Like I said, clear, nude, ombre, nude, and then ombre. Alrighty, so I finished applying the acrylic. So now I'm gonna go ahead and put these up. So again, I use the clear powder, I use the cover blush, and then I use the what is this, the yellow in the number 51, and then the monomer. So I'm gonna go ahead and put these over to the side, and then we can move on to the next step. And then as always, I'm gonna go in and just put my brush in a little dapping dish with a brush cleaner to clean it off. And you wanna do that after each client. That way next time, whenever you're ready to use it, it's gonna be nice and clean. And then as always, I'm using the Alpha brush in a number 10, and it's an oval shape. And then this leftover monomer, I'm just gonna dump it in my paper towel. And this is the same dapping dish that I'm just gonna use to soak my brush in with the brush cleaner. Alrighty, so now to reshape the nails, I'm gonna go in with the 80-100. And what that means is that one side is gonna be a 80 grit, and then the other side is gonna be 100 grit. So let's see, this one most definitely is the 80 grit because it's a lot more coarse and you can just feel it. And then this one is gonna be the 100. So again, the lower the number, the more coarse the file, and then the higher the number, the less coarse. So now we're gonna go in and reshape. So as always, we're gonna be filing at a 90-degree angle on the sides, just going from the sidewall towards the free edge. And of course, you know, like these nails were already coffined, but after 2 weeks, you know, the corners kind of round off. So we just have to go in and redefine that shape. Alrighty, just like that. And then same thing for the rest. So just following the sides at a 90-degree angle. And then the free edge as well. Alrighty, y'all, so here is the before and after of reshaping the nails. So again, I use the 80-100 file, and then we're just filing, you know, to reshape the nails. So I'm gonna do the same thing on this other hand, and then we can move on to the next part. Alrighty, so after we finish reshaping the nails, I'm gonna go in with a fine drill bit. And this one is from Amazon. As you guys know, I usually alternate between my extra fine and this one, and really whichever one I get first, but they all work really good. The only difference that I see is that this one is not as coarse as the metal ones or the carbide ones. So if you're scared, you know, to use a drill or a drill bit, I would definitely recommend the ceramic ones for you. But now I'm gonna go ahead and file the nails. So when we're doing this, we're just filing to make sure that they're all nice and even. I also like to file underneath the nail first, and then we go from the right side all the way over to the left side, just going back and forth. And we're doing this because we want to seal the acrylic around the cuticle, because if not, we will get lifting. So this and prepping the nail are two of the most important steps. Of course, you know, not getting acrylic on the skin is important too, but this really is one of the main important parts or things to do to prevent lifting. So you want to make sure that, again, you go from the right side all the way over to the left side, and just going back and forth until you're able to see where the cuticle is, where the natural nail is, and where the acrylic is. That way you know that the acrylic is not on the skin. And then of course just following the rest of the nail to make sure that it's nice and smooth. But that's really like the main thing. I know a lot of people, you know, always tell me like they're prepping the nail correctly and they're applying the right size tips, but they're still getting lifting. And if you're still getting lifting and you're doing all of that right, then most likely you're not spending enough time around this cuticle area. So again, go from the right side all the way over to the left side. Just go back and forth until you see the cuticle, the natural nail, and the acrylic. And I don't mean there has to be like a huge gap in between the three, just enough to where you're literally able to see where the natural nail is. Alrighty, so I'm gonna go ahead and continue to do this on all of the nails. So again, make sure that you spend a little bit more time around this cuticle area with your drill bit. And again, this is a fine drill bit, but you can use a fine or an extra fine, whichever one you feel more comfortable with. But I would suggest the extra fine, especially if you're like a beginner. So I'm gonna finish doing this, and then I'm gonna do the same thing on the other hand. Alrighty, so I finished filing the nails with the fine drill bit. So now I'm gonna go in with this buffer and we're just gonna buff all of the nails, and this is going to get rid of any of the scratches left on the nail from the hand file or the e-file. Alrighty, so after we finish buffing the nails, I'm gonna go in with an alcohol wipe and I'm just gonna wipe all of the nails off to remove any of that dust that's on or left on the nails. Alrighty, so after this, we're gonna go in and apply some bling, and as much as I don't want to use my good ones on her, I'm still gonna do it. So I'm gonna be using my AB ones as well as some yellow. So I'm gonna go ahead and take those out. As you guys know, I got these from Sky Beads. I do have a promo code for them, so I'll be sure to leave that down below. And then as always, I'm gonna use the Soleil nail adhesive, and then I'm gonna be using my wax pencil. And then I'm also gonna use the SS16. So let's see. So on the pinky, I'm gonna go ahead and use the polish Harp on It by Color Club, and I'm gonna apply that on both pinkies because I'm gonna be doing a full bling nail. Alrighty, so I just applied those on the ring finger. I'm gonna do probably the same thing on this one. Alrighty, and then I'm gonna go in and just fill this now in with, I'm just gonna mix both of them. So I'm gonna throw in a few of the yellow first. And then the rest I'm just gonna do with the AB, SS12, and SS6. Alrighty, so just like that, and then we're just gonna go in and apply the top coat. And I don't have a top coat by them, but I'm gonna be applying the Madam Glam No Wipe Top Gel. Alrighty, so I applied the top coat on this one. So now we're gonna go ahead and cure those for 60 seconds. And then we're gonna do the same thing on the other hand.
One of the Tiffany's that I work with, we have three of them up in there, there's different than Tiffany's. But she was telling me that she was mad at her boyfriend because like her car broke down and he hasn't fixed it, so when allows her to cover. She's been having to ask people for rides, and usually he's been driving her to work. But today she was getting ready and he was like, oh, I can take you to work today. And she was like, why not? He's like, I have to go into work at 7:30. And she's like, why couldn't you tell me yesterday or earlier or something so that I can arrange something? She's like, that's fucked up. And then he's like, well, I've been going to work at 7:30 for like the past month. And she's like, no, because you're the one that takes me to work and I don't show up to work at 7:30 because I have to be at work at 8. So there's no way. And so she was telling me about that. She was telling me about that and she started crying because she was like, I put my life down on the line for this man and he can't even communicate that with me so I can find a way to get work. She's like, whenever he tells me to go pick up his kids, I go pick them up and I cook for them. And the girl that's married to, que su novio está, girl, the guy that's in the book? Yeah. No, that's her number. Apparently she was telling me that she was gonna start doing the whole divorce process. And I'm thinking that she's talking about her boyfriend and his baby mama. Because Sammy and Ayos had to get a divorce, but they didn't want to because of the tax money that they got for the kids finally together. And I'm like, you only get it one time, like once a year or whatever. But apparently she was married to a guy from Africa. Que era su amigo. That got to me. Que era su amigo and his student visa was about to expire. And que once they got married, he dropped out of school and they were like, no, you have to go back to school, otherwise you're gonna get in trouble because that's the whole reason why you came in the first place. I was like, I didn't even know you were married. And then she was like, oh, he's not going through the process. He makes me think that he's waiting for something to happen with her again. Like, I guess that's the mother of his kids or whatever. But he's with me now and I cook and clean for them and I'm basically raising his kids for him. So now I have all the kids. I think the oldest one is like 6 and the youngest one is like 3. And he's like 2 or something. I don't know. But they're real little. They're baby. But she gets mad because they sometimes struggle to pay bills, especially when it rains a lot. She's the only one working. Why would he do? She works outside landscaping and stuff. But she's like,
Alrighty, y'all, so here is the final look. As you can see, they turned out really pretty. The acrylics overall were really easy to work with and highly would recommend for beginners. So again, I used the cover blush, the clear, the yellow, and the monomer, as well as their primer and dehydrator. So as always, I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at GetNo32, and I'll see you guys next time. And then again, the crystals are from Sky Beads, so I'll be sure to leave that link down below.